Welcome back to the Adventurous Advocates. I'm so excited you joined me today. Today we're going to be answering your top 5 questions that you've left on Magic Kingdom videos. So come on, let's have an adventure. One of the questions I frequently ask is, where can I rent an ECV or wheelchair at Magic Kingdom? How much does it cost, and do they have a wait list? Come on, let's find those answers. The ECV and wheelchair rentals are closest to the ferry boat exit. Whether you take the monorail or the ferry boat, you're going to scan your park ticket and then immediately turn to the right and go as far right as possible. You do not go under the underpass yet. There's going to be signs that say locker rentals and ECV rentals, and that is where you get your push wheelchair or electric ECV. Manual wheelchairs are $20, while electric ECVs are $70. They only offer one option. There is a $20 deposit. If you pay in cash, you'll get it back immediately upon return. But if you pay on the card, it can take up to 7 business days. I've never actually had it take that long. If you're able to come to Magic Kingdom right when it opens, you'll have no problem getting a manual wheelchair or an electric ECV. However, if you come even during off season, midday, or towards the end of the day, it's likely that you'll have to join the virtual queue. The virtual queue is not available in the queue section of My Disney Experience, so you cannot join that queue from the monorail or your hotel or anything like that. You will actually have to go to the stand where they rent the ECVs, scan the QVC code, enter the number of party members needing an ECV or wheelchair, your phone number, and things like that to be able to join the virtual queue. When someone returns an ECV, then they will text you. You'll have 1 hour to return to the stand and rent the unit before they give it away to the next person on the line. So this is how this is done now. Another question that frequently comes up is, do I need to use Lightning Lane or Genie Plus if I have a DAS? No, you don't need to use the Lightning Lane or Genie Plus if you have a DAS app. First of all, you can get 2 reservations for comeback times before you ever get to the park. You can call the main number, or you can get on your app that has a chat function where you can request them. They'll give you a form to fill out on which rides you'd like comeback times for, and those 2 do not affect your regular DAS. The second you scan into the park, you can get an additional DAS comeback time. So once you're in that time, the second you scan into that ride, you can actually get another comeback time. You also can use the Magic Guides app to look for the rides that have the lower wait times, and so you can fill in the gaps between your DAS times with rides that maybe have 10 or 15 minute waits, nothing big. And also, when you use the DAS pass, you get to come back through the Lightning Lane. So you never actually go through the standby lane when you're using the DAS comeback times. So you really don't need it. It would be a waste of money, and the DAS can do everything you need. It also is so much cheaper because it's free. Where Lightning Lane, you have to pay for each individual Lightning Lane you purchase. Even Genie Plus has a cost to it. And so this really is a better way for individuals with disabilities to be able to have the accessibility they need and be able to get into rides as quickly as they need to, and also, not have to pay anything. So it's another question that regularly comes up is, what do I do if my child has a lot of anxiety or difficulty riding new rides or trying something that may seem a little scary on the outside, but I believe they may enjoy once they're on it? Come on, let's find the answer. As the mom of 2 children with autism, the question that you ask about rides is very near and dear to my heart. So if you have a child who's very nervous about getting on a new ride, or maybe you're concerned there might be some things on the ride that would be triggering for them or cause them to have a meltdown, it is good to go on YouTube and search POV and the name of the ride, and then you can do a full walkthrough of that ride. Most of them have lights on, lights off, but you can add that to the search. So POV, lights on, Haunted Mansion, or just POV, Haunted Mansion, and it will show you everything from how far it is to walk, things that are involved in the queue of the line, as well as the things that you'll experience on the ride. Now, Legoland actually has a ride-by-ride chart that tells you everything that may be triggering or everything that this ride includes, and I really wish that Disney would have that level of advocacy, but at the moment they don't. So at the moment, you have to kind of do your own research and things like that. But a great resource and tool that you have is the cast members. I will say that the cast members are amazing, and if they can accommodate you, they will. So you can go and ask them, is there a way to skip this room? Or is there a way to make this aspect a little easier for them? Or can you talk to my son or daughter about this ride and kind of allow them to ask questions or help them feel a little better about that? And the cast members are almost always very responsive. For example, in the Haunted Mansion, you can actually skip the center chamber where they tell the story and it looks like the floor goes down and the people get hung. You can skip that. They can take you to a separate room where you get directly on the ride vehicles and just go through the ride. So they don't have that loud booming voice. They're not pushed up against people in a cramped space where they can't get out, and their voice is claiming that they're trapped in there. They can avoid all of those things and just get directly on the ride. And many of the rides have those type of accommodations. Now, with the DAS pass, that will help, but it won't always just get you straight on the ride like that. But if you let them know your child's unique concerns, both at guest services and on the ride, they always accommodate you as much as possible. But I've always said knowledge is power. The more knowledge your child has, the more exposure your child has to that ride, the better chance they're going to be able to handle it and enjoy it and be there just, the same as anybody else and have a great time. So always, always, always allow them to watch the videos of the rides, talk to them about the rides before you ever go. Another thing to think about is that sometimes it's okay to take small baby steps. So they may only be comfortable coming to look at it and talk to the cast member or walk through a little part of the queue, but maybe next time they'll get a little further in. So have very small expectations. It's okay if you're not ready to ride it, but maybe we could take a baby step towards getting there, and that's okay too. So just remember, we celebrate progress and not perfection, and you'll have a great time. And there's a lot of things that are going to feel super comfortable riding, and so even if they never get to the point where they ever want to ride it, there's enough here and there's enough cool things to do that it's not a big deal. So I say just, don't put pressure on yourself and just celebrate the things they can do and do the best you can and have a great time. That's the important part. One of the newest, but quickly becoming one of the more frequent questions I hear is, does Tron take DAS and how can I ride it? Let's find out. I've got some very exciting news. I just talked to a manager and he said that April 1st will be the day that Tron opens to the public. Right now they are doing cast holder and annual pass previews, but when it opens to the public, he said they will offer it as a DAS ride. So you'll be able to get a comeback time and all things like that. So even though it's popular, even though it'd probably have a long wait time, you can get a DAS comeback time to that. And I think that is very exciting. Things to keep in mind for Tron is that they will have a tester seat. You'll need to be able to lay down, push the bars down, and have the back seat lock into place. So weight may be an issue, height and different fit issues may occur, but you do have to fit fully in this tester seat with it locking in place to be able to ride it. So you want to go ahead and try that before you get on or in line. The other thing is that you will not be able to take your wheelchair directly into Tron. They don't have a vehicle that can lock a wheelchair in. They also will not allow you to take your ECV into the line. They will have complimentary wheelchairs that you can be pushed in up into the ride, but you will have to actually board the ride yourself, and then when you exit, you can return to the complimentary wheelchair, which can take you back to your ECV or other wheelchair. So that's kind of cool. Another question you guys have been asking is, how do I get a DAS pass at Magic Kingdom? Where do I go? Who do I talk to? And all sorts of things like that. Come on, let's find out. When you get to Magic Kingdom, you're going to want to scan your park ticket and stay to the far left. Once you get under the underpass, you're looking for the second building on your left. This is Town Center. This is where they give out the DAS passes and also the anniversary and birthday buttons. It's where you'll go if you need to speak to a manager and things like that. When you get to the Town Center building, there's usually a cast member at the bottom of the entrance ramp to ask why you're visiting Town Center. You do not have to tell this person why you need a DAS. You only explain to them that you need one. They'll direct you to go up the ramp and wait your turn. Once called to the desk, then you will not need to provide any documentation on illness, disability, things like that. None of that. You don't have to bring that. They will not ask you specific questions about your illness. You will not have to go into great detail about your disability. They will simply ask you why you need a DAS pass, and then they will determine whether you meet the criteria for receiving one at this time. They will then put it on your app. For pass holders, it can last up to 60 days, or they can make it for the length of your visit. They also can just put it for one day if you wish. If you need a DAS pass, then I have two videos that you're not going to want to miss. The first one is an ultimate guide to DAS pass. Everything you're going to need to know, from getting it, using it within the app, troubleshooting it, and all the benefits and things associated with having and using the DAS pass at all the parks. The second one I made is more of an in-park utilization video, how to maximize your DAS pass, what free apps can pair well with and help you while using your DAS pass, and those kind of things. So I'm going to link those in below. Definitely check those out. I've had the best time hanging out with you guys today. I hope we've answered all your questions. If we haven't, go ahead and drop that question in the comment, and next time it could be your question we answer. But if you go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And until next time, stay adventurous.